Welcome back to another episode of the Hooligans Pitch, episode 118. Double Super Bowl weekend. Chad, what's going on?
You know, it's a busy Sunday, busy weekend, but busy Sunday especially. I think some games went a different way than people might have thought. Maybe both games did, but
yeah, I think one of the two games was definitely more exciting than the other. We'll get to which one that might be later. Day started off early for me that day. I had to slow cook some carnitas and realized that it was going to take like 8 hours. And I was like, so I got to get up early. But I was geared up, TV in the kitchen as we're slow cooking.
There you go.
2 TVs. So if I walk one way, I could see it. Wasn't missing any action. But once the Liverpool game started, I was locked in. Just like I am now with my Powder Day IPA from Sierra Nevada. Sponsor us. Send us beer. Are you drinking tonight? Having anything?
Just the water for me right now. Freaking like allergies are around here. I heard they were burning some crop fields, so I think that's been blowing things around. And so laying low with the water.
That's okay. Hopefully you had some yesterday, and here we are. So yeah, let's get into it, man. Super Bowl number 1, since it was I would say easily the most exciting game of the weekend in terms of EPL world. Again, locked in, sitting watching, pretty chill. First 20-30 minutes, I thought the game was going kind of how I expected it to. Pretty balanced. Nothing too crazy in terms of teams throwing up good shots or good saves. So it was very standard start to a Liverpool City game. And then second half, I'm just going to go straight to the second half. There wasn't anything too significant for me to note. But second half gets going. I'm like, that's where the fun as a fan began for me, because I started to, get some hoops and hollers in, and that's when my dogs, they don't understand excitement. So like when they see me getting excited, they're like, oh man. So kind of once I was locked into the living room, I set up one chair like a foot and a half away from the TV. So I'm just like I'm there. I'm tunnel vision on the game. It gets pretty ridiculous. And the dogs are in the other room. And, shots are starting to happen. Liverpool, let's be honest, was kind of controlling that second half.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It came out, first half, I think, like you said, was pretty back and forth. But I felt like both teams were kind of unorganized maybe that first half. But second half, it looked like Liverpool came out, knew their game plan, was executing it, and, felt like they were controlling it.
The way it seemed like our attack was flowing too felt a little more counterattacky out of recent matches that I've seen them. We had a moment of Alisson slipping, and when that happens, we all know we're on the break. I saw Mo kind of go from right wing to left wing at times. Everyone was kind of being flexible on where they needed to be. I feel like that happens when Dom plays right back, just because he can shift to the center so easily, and I guess instinctually, right? Like he wants to be in that position. He's just forced to be where he is right now because of injuries and our lack of transferring. But that's a whole nother story. But I'm just gonna go straight to the free kick that we all saw multiple times, many angles. Okay, You had that feeling it was going, right?
Oh yeah. Knew, it's more or less the same position as his free kick against Arsenal, so you knew he has that in his bag.
He sets up, he's eyeing down Donnarumma, and Donnaruma's playing pretty far off his line. That was, I think, recognized by all. And when Mo stepped back, it's like, all right, it's a Dom banger. Like it's coming. Yeah. We're on the edge of our seats waiting for it. And Chad, when he hit that thing, I didn't think it was the swerve it took. Because from our position, it was hard to tell. But once it hit post, I jumped with excitement because it was either it wasn't going in or it was like a straight banger goal of the year type candidate goal. And it got loud. It was really loud in that house, barking, people running. I think it's the goal of the year for our team, and it really should have been probably maybe goal of the year if we win this game because of just how unforgettable it was and the swerve and the emotions afterwards. If you went and saw every player, everyone was doing something different. You saw hot hands, you saw head grabbing, you just were like, what just happened?
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was a spectacle.
Yeah, I feel like I meant to go back and like rewatch it, but I feel like you could hear the fans reacting before like it officially goes in the goal. Like I'm assuming the fans behind that goal saw it.
Best angle.
You know, that's going in. So that was cool to see of just, you know, the fans. It was one of those they just knew right away, right? Like they're able to start the cheering before it's like actually in the net. But I mean, it was just hit so perfectly, and you know, Donnarumma, it's not easy to beat anyway. And I think from that far out, you more often than not, you know, place your bets on him to make a save. But again, just a perfect free kick from Dom, and it's the highest of highs in that game. And
Man, let me tell you. I mean, he's easily at this point now the best free kick taker in Europe. I think he has that respect now. I haven't seen that many. I think that was his fourth of the year, so he's alive. He knows how to do it. But you live by the Dom and you die by the Dom, right? Next goal, you could argue it was Dom's fault for not holding the line. But can you blame him? Can you blame him? Come on.
As great as he is at being kind of that James Milner role of like, wherever you need me, I'm in. I'm helping the team, and he's done that at right back, and he, you know, does a good job at it. But I think there are just those instincts or like learned patterns of play that, as a central midfielder, you aren't necessarily taught, and like a defender will be taught to, you know, look at his line and stay with his line, and you know, I think Dom's probably good enough at that for the most part. But then here's one little lapse, or I don't know what you call it, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't put it all down to Dom on that one, but
no, it was a great header by Holland to find Silva at the end of it. But again, like he's just that could have been any right back in that situation, and he was so far away from the ball.
Yeah,
you can't blame the guy. You can't blame him. What I can blame is the lack of pedal to the metal energy we had after Dom scored.
Yeah.
That sucks. And that is nothing new. Dom bails us out, and then the tactics shift when it's been working this entire time to try to hold a lead, and it just hasn't been working. It's like, why not? Remember the beginning of the year when we said we weren't going to defend, we were just going to outscore everyone? Remember that? Yeah. That was like our thing, and it's still, I think, possible. But we gave City we literally said, City, have at it. Do whatever you want. And to be fair, the Silva goal was like fine, but I think going back, you change a couple things, they're not going to score there. And then of course we get to the PK. I'm sure Alisson now is kicking himself. And the PK itself, I think we all should argue that what Alisson did is a foul. Mm-hmm. It's a foul anywhere on the pitch, and I'm definitely in the boat of it's a continuation of a follow through, even though the ball isn't necessarily in play anymore or in control. You can't just foul someone and they don't have the ball, right? However, we've seen instances this year with Gyökeres, for instance, scoring a goal and getting absolutely clattered afterwards, and nothing happens. So it's one of those like, well, what are we doing here? Like, where's the the uniformity across the board to get this call right? And was it right? Do you think it was right?
I think so. My only like hold up on it, and I tried to find some better angles and I couldn't find any really. But I don't know if Alisson gets any sort of touch to the ball.
I don't think so.
because like that, like when Arsenal played Newcastle, that was the Gyökeres versus Pope, penalty debacle where Pope, so they say, got the slightest little touch to it with his foot and
Right.
kind of takes out Gyökeres with that, which is like a little bit this, but I think it does feel weird where like I think at Allison done nothing, it looked like that ball was just going out of play.
Ain't that a bummer?
So it is the right call. I'm fine with the call, but it just doesn't feel. I don't know. I guess it just Allison made the wrong move, right? Like he didn't need to necessarily make that kind of challenge right there. You could have maybe just ran up to him and kind of like box him out, sort of vibe. But yeah,
Now,
a tough one to take. But.
now here's a rule that I'd like to see maybe tweaked a little bit, and I'm going to compare the NFL here, because if you throw a ball to a wide receiver, the defender's all over him, making the catch impossible. It's a flag, right? It's pass interference. But if the quarterback throws that ball miles behind the guy and the defender does the same thing, there's no PI because it's ruled it's uncatchable, right? It's impossible to do. I wish there was some common sense in here to where if a player pushes the ball so far forward where a goal is literally impossible, because I think we can all argue there was no way that if Allison doesn't tackle him, he's not scoring a goal. Guarantee, 100%. If we can't agree on that, we are in two different worlds. So why not reduce that to a yellow, showing that there was no goal intent here? Like, I know they say, well, if it was in the field, if it was in the pitch and he did that, it would have been a foul. Well, it's like, okay, well, we can have the same rules apply here and have it not be a PK. I know there's probably a huge gray area because it's like, well, was he going for goal here? I think that's something you have to weigh out later. But in this instance, he was not going to goal. There was no way in hell, if he didn't foul him, he was going to score a goal. That ball was out of bounds, dead ball, turnover. Yet here we are.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard one. Because this situation, I think, would be pretty clear of, you're not really going to be able to get a shot off here. But I think you could have those situations where, I don't know, someone quicker and better on the ball could, maybe save that ball right on the line and then kind of curve it in past the post. But
well, I'm thinking at the moment of the foul, I think that ball was right on the touchline.
I tried to find something about that too, but there seems to be no talk, no real angle of it.
There's not a good angle, but I was just trying to you just eyeball it, right? And the way how fast the ball was traveling, it had to have been close. Had to have been really close. So yeah, that wasn't really talked about as much. But again, if it wasn't called a PK, I would say, boy, we're lucky there.
Yeah.
And of course, there'd be some riffraff about it, and people would be upset. But then you look at the Guehi thing, and you could argue that was almost that should have maybe been a PK too. He grabbed him before the box, but I do believe the follow through into the box was still there.
Well, and those ones are always strange too, because sure, the foul starts outside the box, but now you've pulled that player off of that ball and potentially a shot, right? So I think if it's one of those where it starts outside and play kind of continues into the box, whether the foul does or not, that maybe warrants a PK depending on maybe where they're entering the box from and stuff. But I think that's I saw Slot's argument that that's a goal that Salah makes almost 100% of the time. I think if Salah was on better form this year, you could maybe play that argument more, but it is one to take a closer look at, I think, of where's the line of okay, it's a foul, but then I saw talk of the dog zo and I forget who the other defender is.
I think Diaz was back there, and he was covering the middle.
Yeah, so he's not there necessarily. I don't know, that whole ruling also gets a little bit gray area sometimes of it's covered or not.
I don't understand why they say, well, the start of the foul was outside the box. Like, well, what about the end of the foul? Where did the end of the foul occur? Because that is the last thing we really should be looking at it. And I think you could argue, I don't know for sure because they really didn't give us a great angle, that the foul did maybe continue a little bit into the box. It's hard to believe it didn't. That's what I'm trying to say. Hard to believe it didn't.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. It's, even if the shirt pull, ends right before Salah enters the box, like Salah's momentum is still affected, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's not able to get to that ball as quickly as he would have. So I guess it's a professional yellow card kind of foul at this point, but I think you do flirt with it warranting a penalty kick and
right
this in similar situations.
Yeah, and then we see Silva finally get the yellow card in the late 90s, and I'm just like, he was fouling early too. I think he deserved a yellow earlier in the game, maybe like around the 60. Oh yeah, he did a pretty high kick on Gravenbach. I think he kicked his thigh pretty high up.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, what? Why wasn't that a yellow? Like, that wasn't a football play. So yeah, and then we had opportunities too. Gitike had a header that he probably wishes he had back.
In that same lead up to that play, I don't know how and why he did not pass to Wirtz below him.
Chad, why did he go to Mo Salah on the opposite pitch? Which, hey, kudos to Mo for finding Hugo with the pass, but that is not how that play should have gone. With the connection that those two have been having, for him to not, he didn't hear him, like didn't see him. I feel like he saw him too.
Like he's looking directly in Wirtz's path, but then just like, I don't know, maybe in his head he's like, well, he's way too open, so City will anticipate that I'm going to pass that way, so let me go the opposite way.
And then the pass to Mo wasn't good. It was like behind him. So yeah, that whole play was interesting. I think Hugo probably should have made that, right? I mean,
yeah, at least force a save,
And then the save that Donnarumma had on McAllister too was pretty damn close to amazing. Yeah, this one stung, and then of course the ending. I mean, I see a lot of common sense seem to be a theme around this game, especially during this play where did Szoboszlai foul Haaland? Yes. Did Haaland then turn around and foul Szoboszlai? Yes. Did the ball go in the net? Yes. I think all of that could have just stayed and we all would have been fine and happy and moved on.
Yeah. This is a worse result for everyone. Right? Because
yeah,
the red card.
Except for Arsenal.
City's goal differential's -1. It just, I think I watched a lot of videos on this now and a bunch of the refs giving their input, and I understand it now. I understand why it was called back and a red card and all that. But it was one of those situations where it feels like two players fouled each other. That's just a wash. The ball is continue to roll towards goal, and like this is almost happening away from the fouling anyway. So I don't know. I understand it now, but I think to me, I still kind of side with it. It should have just been a wash. The goal stands. But
it's interesting that you could. Because the on-field call wasn't a foul. The on-field call was a goal. So it's interesting you can take that back and negatively or take a goal back to punish a team, yet still find a way to reward them, just not as good as a reward.
Yeah. Because it feels like, I don't know, maybe advantage was called, but for the call to still be a goal, I feel like that should have just stood then, right? Because that's what the on-field ref saw, whether he played advantage or not. I don't know. It's such a weird.
Now, if Dom blocks the goal from going in, different conversation.
Yeah, then I think you can look at, if advantage was being played, and you can kind of come to a decision about those fouls. But I don't know. I mean, I saw people getting on Dom a little bit in some comment sections of like, oh, well, he should have just let that ball go in because now he's, red card, misses the next game. But it's like, you don't ever want to see your players just give up, right? And like that would have been that. Like, you don't necessarily know how much more time is left to be played in that game.
I had hope after the free kick that we were still going to find a way to do it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like, while it sucks, it was just the worst outcome for everyone, like I said. But, I think if you watch Dom in that and he just like doesn't run with Haaland or doesn't attempt to try and get back to that ball, then you're probably still asking questions. But now it's like, why is he not running and trying to save that from being a goal and, whatever. But,
oh, you kidding me? If Liverpool score after all this, Dom's a hero.
Well, yeah, that's right?
Like, you just never know. So, was Dom trying to get a red card there? I don't think so. I think he was doing everything he could to prevent a goal from going in, and it just happened to be the last man. And the decision came out that the red card was a very strange sequence. Dom was laughing. I think even City was like, "Wait, we want the goal though." It'd be nice if they had the choice.
Yeah, maybe that's the move in like a situation like this where it's, yes, there's a foul, but a goal was scored. Almost like a NFL penalty, like do you accept it, decline it kind of vibe. But here you could decide, do we want the goal or give them a red card, because like a red card at this point of the game
means
City
nothing.
really means nothing.
And to Liverpool. I mean, like, what's the red card going to do for us? The game's over. Yeah, that would be interesting to see, because most of the time, coaches or teams, if someone gets a red card, they're like, yeah, obviously kick them out. But this is one of those sequences where you could, do you want the goal to stand? Unless it was something abrasive and punches thrown or like violent conduct, sure, we can make the argument there. But this. I haven't seen any City comments about it. Have you?
Not really, no. I think the only one I saw was just that it they are all kind of in the same agreement that it's just like a weird situation, and you can talk yourself into like any side of it of goal stands, or the foul is the correct call on the red card, or I don't know, find some middle ground in there. But like, it almost, I think, for me personally, I think it should have just been like goal and like a yellow card to Dom or something, right? Like, if advantage is played, sure, but like I don't know that you could say that Haaland was really in an advantage to play that ball anyway. If Dom's not tugging on him, maybe he gets there, maybe he doesn't. But then at the same time, if Haaland's not tugging on Dom, maybe he gets the goal line and saves it from going in. So I don't know. Weird moment, weird end to that game. Cherky's free kick afterwards was hilarious. But
yeah, it kind of hurt your fantasy team there a little bit, but
that was my only takeaway. Is like, I'm finally getting some good points from him, and then it gets stripped away from me.
You say not today. Very exciting game. Again, I think Liverpool's kicking themselves for not winning it. I think that would have been a good motivator to finish off this last third of the season. I think we still have plenty of time to climb. I think Champions League chat is wide open.
Oh yeah.
I think Liverpool could be a very scary team in that league, especially as we get to knockouts and whoever we're playing. So I think we turned the focus possibly to Champions League a little bit harder than just top four right now, because I think top four will happen. It just has to happen naturally, right? There's too much. I feel like there's so much like hyper focus on what Slot needs to do, what the team needs to do, and outside of, I guess, the last couple weeks, we've been racking up points to be in the top four. So let's just continue to rack up the points 1 week at a time. Go crazy in Champions League. And yeah, that was a hell of a game. I was sad. I won't lie. I was defeated. Considering by the 80th minute, you're saying Dom with the biggest assist for Arsenal. I won't lie. I was like, you jinxing me a little bit here, but I agree. And 20 minutes later, I was devastated.
Yeah, I mean, kind of par for the course for Liverpool this season, right? So I think while still a surprise, like it probably doesn't hurt as much as it did in past seasons. But
no, you're right. That's very true. If this was title race season and we lost this game, I'd be going crazy, I think. But this was one of those, like, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Happy to make City sweat a little.
Yeah.
So
and that's the thing too, is like, I don't even think City played all that great in this game. Like, I don't like what Pep was doing with Semenyo. That guy cooks on the wing, and he was playing him so narrow and so central. We hardly even heard his name.
Yep, he had one or two good shots, and that was it.
Yeah. And then, Holland, I think, has been the same Holland we've been seeing in the past few weeks, where he's involved, but not nearly the threat that he can be. And then even just, playing most of this game with no real creative outlet. Like, no Cherky out there, no Foden, not even Doku might still be injured, I don't know, but like, you had no real creativity, and I think that showed, especially in that second half, where Liverpool just came on top and was kind of just in control. I think the goal that Silva got back, I think, was well executed, but I don't think it was enough to really propel them forward and get them back in the game. I think Liverpool just kind of sat back too much, and their standards maybe dropped a little bit. But I don't think it's necessarily a dagger to Liverpool's top four hopes, but I also don't think it's going to like spur on City to start some incredible run now. Like, I see all the comments of like, oh, City's back in the title race. They entered the week 6 points behind, and they exit the week 6 points behind. Nothing's changed. Like, okay.
And Gyökeres is scoring goals now.
Yeah. And
so
we got him scoring, I am interested to see what Liverpool does next week at Sunderland. Who's your right back now? I don't know.
Man. At this point, I think Frimpong is still. He could still be out.
His estimated return is the 21st.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Joey G's coming back, so that was my first instinct that he goes into right back, because he's been there plenty of times beforehand.
Yeah.
Now, if you're telling me we can't play Joey G, we got to find someone else. Dang, Chad, that's so tough.
Why didn't Liverpool just sign a single defender?
Asking like hard-hitting journalism, Chad, right there.
I mean, that's it. Like, you knew you had this. You already went through half the season with a light back line. You already were having to use Szoboszlai in the right back role, which worked, but I think he still performs better in the middle and a little bit more in the attacking end. All you do is sign one defender, whether it's a out and out right back or a central defender that can just be out out wide while you need him. But I don't know. That's a weird miss from Liverpool for me. Just it makes no sense to not sign a defender when you're like in desperate need of one.
Yeah, and again, I've always been eyeing one, and it's Costangi. I've always liked his play, and Fulham has been kind of swapping him in and out. He's not really consistent for them, and I was like, maybe we'll shoot for him at the very last minute, and it just never happened. It didn't happen with anyone. I know we talked about Denzel Dumfries from Inter, and that could happen in the future, but he's been injured. He's 30. That's not a Band-Aid right now.
Yeah.
And
I think if you were going to sign anyone, it should have been from either a current Premier League team or a player with, Premier League experience, because you don't really have the time to let them get used to the league. So if it's someone who's like maybe not all the way up to Liverpool level, but is solid enough, like you just need a defender.
Anything would be nice, and it's not going to happen. So now we got to figure it out. And our new signing, Jeremy Jacquet, he broke his collarbone and shoulder. So as soon as we signed him,
well, at least he's getting out of the way before he's like actually needed on the pitch.
Yeah, so. It's our initiation actually. So I don't know exactly what he did yet. I don't know if it's been diagnosed completely, but serious injury is what they're calling it.
Serious injury, great.
Yeah.
Well, look, when he gets better and Leone gets better, it's a whole new back line.
Dude, excuse me, our team is huge. Try to find the image of all of our players. The fun game we're playing right now is who would be the best basketball team in the EPL. That's the Liverpool subreddit right now. It would be Liverpool. What is 1.9 meters in feet? 6'2". Okay. So that's got
Leone or
that's Ikatike. Okay.
Oh,
Isak's taller. Virgil's taller. Gakpo's taller. Konate's taller. Leone's taller. Yeah, Gakpo's 6'4".
Is he really?
Yeah. He doesn't seem like it, does he, Chad? Oh, I could get started on that. We're not gonna. I think we should move on. But that is like Slot's child, and he will play every game. And he's experimenting with a left foot, and I hate it. There was a rumor too that came out recently that Bayern Munich was going to pay $60 million for him. I was like, do it, just do it. Yeah.
Let's just swap Diaz and Gakpo.
That's what I was like. What is? I was like, this can't be real. Liverpool star Cody Gakpo linked with shock move to European giants. They make him top priority. It's Bayern Munich, but
weird.
We will see.
I mean, if that offer comes in, I think it would be insane for Liverpool to not take it, because while there's been certainly great moments from Gakpo, I'd say it's not consistent enough to turn down that kind of offer.
The only thing I'm thinking is that we're waiting until World Cup, because you get that World Cup price tag, and those always are higher than what they're worth. And essentially, that's what happened with Gakpo. And
yeah,
I feel like he's done
perform well with the national team. So
yeah, I think just buyers beware. I think that's what you need to know. Good player. We're not taking that.
Don't tell them that
yet. That's only if they're listening, Chad. It's only if they're listening. All right, that's my 35-minute rant on Liverpool City. That's pretty good. That was the highlight. Let's be honest. That was the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, actual Super Bowl was 1 quarter worth of football. So
hey, 30 points in that quarter. So at least something happened. All right, Arsenal, break it down for me.
Oh. Well, Sunderland's away form has not been great the entire season, so I felt pretty good going into this game. I think even as the game started to develop, it was I guess I was a little bit surprised that Sunderland wasn't sitting as back as much as
Mhm.
I thought they might. They were, trying to kind of play and certainly hit some counters and stuff, but man, they were physical. They were really giving it to the Arsenal players, and there's a few moments in there where I think it was maybe it was their striker. I think it was Brobby. He has a foul on Zubamendi. One of those weird, like borderline, maybe could have been a red, maybe not. Gets a yellow for it, and I mean, I guess that's fine. Like, it meant nothing in the end, but I mean, yeah, I think this Kai Havertz like reintroduction in the midfield is working now. Because when he first came into the team a couple of years ago, Arteta tried to start him there, and it just like it never worked. There never was the right connection. I think with the attacking line. I don't know. Maybe Havertz has just been watching the training during his time on the sideline, and then he seems to just know where the strikers want the ball now.
His ball control is great.
Yeah.
Like there's no doubt about that. And I agree with you. It is interesting to see kind of when the ball is played through him, how the team sets up, because previously it was Odegaard kind of setting up everyone, and he was, he wanted the ball at his feet. He wanted to find those lanes, and he wasn't, I guess, able to. But now Odegaard, did he even play this game?
No, I think he had a little injury or something. They didn't, not even on the bench.
So it makes you wonder, is this the style moving forward? Like,
I think you
it ain't bad.
Find out.
It ain't bad, right?
Havertz is playing more direct passes than Odegaard has been this season, so that's at least finding some of those runs that Gyökeres would make, or here like Jesus would make. Whereas Odegaard for the longest time now, I think I don't think he doesn't see the runs. I think he just doesn't want to make that pass, and I don't know if that's like a Arteta thing of we don't build that quick kind of vibe, but maybe with Havertz in there, it's just he sees that connection, and let's roll with it because it's working. It's getting shots off. It's getting goals too. So. Yeah, 3-0's nice. 2 goals for Gyökeres, nice. Like, I don't have too much more to say about this game. It's just like it felt pretty standard, like what I would expect this game to be. Wasn't any real drama in it either beyond Robbie's challenge, I guess. But
great Zubamendi goal.
Yeah, the Zubamendi goal was lovely. Just like such a low shot, but like so driven as well. Great. It's everyone wants to kind of, for Arsenal, be nervous and be disappointed that Liverpool couldn't get the win. Which a 9-point gap would have been great, but
sure,
like I said, we entered this match day with a 6-point gap, and we ended with a 6-point gap, and this league is not one where you can depend on other teams to, get you where you need to go. So
it's no favors.
Yeah, I think that the Arsenal team here seems like pretty focused at this point. I think of just knocking these games out one by one and just moving forward, like not trying to worry too much about what could have been with 9-point gap or anything. So
block out the noise.
That's it. I think they're doing that. I think our attacking is looking more fluid with Kai in there, and Gyökeres, I think, kind of finally finding his feet in the team. So yeah, it's a nice win on a Saturday.
Just to say, like, must be nice, but like, yeah, that sounds real nice. I hope I hope y'all win it. I don't want to see City win anymore. And now that Villa's slipping away,
Yeah.
it's 2021, 2022,
Yeah.
all over again. And I want to believe in Arsenal, man. I really want to believe in y'all to get this done. It just sucks knowing in 3 months that we might not be having that conversation. And I don't know what Arsenal had like the last couple weeks where it was a little dicey, right? It wasn't perfect. It didn't need to be perfect, but it wasn't even close. And I feel like against Sunderland, this game kind of was perfect for Arsenal and what they got out of their players. And the last 14 weeks here, maybe just a send off, and like this is how we're gonna play now, and we figured it out. Mm-hmm. I just hate seeing City linger. And now, Arsenal also challenging for 4 other trophies at the moment. It sucks to lose one, but it wouldn't be the worst thing if you did.
Sure.
Do you have that mentality of like, it's okay? I'd rather lose this trophy to like get an extra percentage in this, or you like fuck it, let's go for it all.
It's kind of both, right? Like to have the opportunity to be in win 4 trophies at the end is great, so like you should go for it. But I think at a certain point you will need to kind of shift focus to one, and that one should be EPL, right?
If you guys were running away with EPL, I'd be like, right? Like, yeah, or even more than 6 points, say 10, 12, I'd be like, yeah, okay, you have some breathing room here. Like, you might be all right, but it's just the recent years and how City's going to put on this run. I don't think they can do it. I don't think City will put on a crazy run here at the end, but we've seen it time and time again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I will say, I think it might have been an interview with Bernardo Silva. I think it was him. But he was saying that because the Carabao Cup final comes in at the end of March, and they said those years that they were in that final and won it, it was like a good like booster or almost like an injection of belief of like, you just won this cup, now like push on and win the league, right? So which I could see happening for teams. You're fighting all year for the EPL title, but then to grab a trophy along the way in a one-off final kind of vibe is certainly a good motivator and good injection of energy, I think. So I think I'd like to keep that one. I mean, we're in that anyway, but win it. And then if I had to drop one, I don't want to drop the FA Cup, but I think I would. And primary focus be Premier League, but we've done so well in Champions League, and I mean, might as well try and ride that out. And so I don't know. It's a weird spot to be in when you're like not complaining, but you have too many good options in front of you.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, I think while Arteta will publicly say, they're going for it in all 4 competitions, I wouldn't be surprised if, and maybe not even saying it to the players, but in his head and maybe in the coaching discussions is, EPL's 1, I don't know, Champions League maybe 2, and down from there, just so there is some focus and you're not doing this like shotgun blast of just like throw it all out there and see what happens, because that's when you fall into that trap of dropping points you shouldn't, and players focus on a different competition when you need them on EPL or whatever. So yeah, it's more of the same for me. It's still 6 points, still feeling good, still looking good. We played twice before. What is this? Oh, we play Thursday.
And then
FA Cup's this weekend. We play Wednesday. So from after the Wednesday game against Wolves, we're gonna always be a game up on City, I believe, until
Wow.
they can make up, I think, a Crystal Palace game. Yeah, Crystal Palace game. So who knows what that'll do to the mentality, but I mean both Arsenal and City of that point shift can always look bigger than it actually is because of that extra game. Or so I don't know. It's certainly not out of the woods yet. Just gotta keep focusing one at a time.
Again, I hope you do it.
Me too.
I'm so tired of City. I don't want them to somehow do it with a team that's so mediocre for what they've been the last decade, right? This will be the worst City team to win the Premier League if it happens. I have heard arguments that Arsenal could be the worst Premier League team to win. And I feel like we don't know enough prior to 2010, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But the worst, that's an extreme statement.
I think, I think it's hard to say because I've seen that going around too, and like you see all the games and all the teams these past few seasons. Like, there's not very many easy games you can just walk into and blindly win, right?
Right.
So comparing it to past seasons, well, the level of competition has gone up across the league. I think it probably plays a part of the own goal being one of the top scorers, which is a weird, funny stat, but it's not like we're asking the other team to kick the ball into their own net. Arsenal's putting that ball into dangerous situations, which then causes the own goal. So,
right.
Well, you can't attribute it to a striker. It is of Arsenal's doing, right? So, are they the flashiest team we've ever seen? No. Are they, the 100-point season team? No. But I don't know. I think there's Arsenal hate out there. I keep seeing the videos come in the banter group of anyone but Arsenal and yada yada yada. It's like, you guys are weird and you're loving City for no reason. So
the City love is very strange.
Yeah, every other season when they're running away with it, everyone's like, well,
115
in the league now, whatever. Yeah. So here you have a team that hasn't won it in a very long time. Has been very close the past few seasons. Still close. It's not over yet. So I don't know. I get hating rival teams and all that, but do we want another City win? Come on.
All right, Chad. Hypothetical. Win the league this year or see Tottenham get relegated this year?
Oh, win the league.
Okay. Good to know.
Their trajectory is down, so they'll hire someone new for next season. They'll have a good handful of games, and then start crumbling.
Here we are again. Yeah. Should we shift focus to the bottom of the table now?
Yeah. It's getting spicy down there now.
Can we just whatever is in the water down at West Ham?
Oof.
Could be James Ward-Prowse. I don't know.
Maybe.
Right. Cancer of the locker room, sweetest smile you've ever seen. It can get weird. West Ham, don't make me believe in you.
I'm starting to believe.
Don't do this to us.
Look, they made some signings in the winter window, and they seem to have been the correct signings to just spark some life into this team.
Can you believe it? It's weird. No. It doesn't make any sense. This team was atrocious. A month ago.
Yeah. It's Somerville's looking great. Bowen, I think, still looks good, but I think is giving himself a moment of, I'll call it rest, even though he's still out there playing. But it doesn't feel like he needs to do all the heavy lifting right now. There's still some shakiness in there. I think their defense as well is pretty rough, but Man, you're getting the wins you need to get. That's for sure.
Yeah, they had 3 wins in 2025, and right now in 2026 they're at 3 wins in 5 weeks. So I mean, it's one of those like, yeah, you should have been doing this a long time ago type feeling.
Absolutely, yeah.
And maybe it just took the heat of the moment to realize that, hey, we should probably start trying here. I don't want them to tease us now of this good week, bad week. Like, show us some consistency, right? Who do they got next? Because I think
it's the biggest game of the season.
It's haircut derby.
Going for their 5th straight win. Can West Ham upset United and that guy?
You know West Ham knows about this.
Look, I don't know what kind of coaching Nuno does, but I just think back to Arteta posting up the Ivan Toney tweets and stuff in the locker room. Come on, Nuno. Throw those hair videos up there saying, we want this guy to get his hair grown out longer and longer, and we're not going to be the ones cutting it.
Did you see Michael Carrick commented on this too?
Yeah.
I mean, his quote was very forgettable. It's like, yeah, we're not paying any attention to whoever that person is. I call bull. They all know. This guy is like on commercials now in the UK for Head and Shoulders and whatever other product you do for your hair. Amazing viral marketing. I mean, of himself. He wasn't even trying. It was just, he just made a commitment.
Yeah.
And
United helped him get to this point. So
that's it. And you could say he helped United get to this point too, right? Sure. I mean, now, would it shock you if West Ham won? No.
West Ham at home. West Ham, this like renewed vigor in West Ham. You know, the West Ham fans, they all know about this guy as well. They're going to be hooting and hollering, getting behind this team.
He better be there.
I hope he is.
He should be there. He should cut it there if they win.
It needs to be like immediately after they bring him out on the pitch, and just each United player gets like one go of the shaver.
I mean, it's a fun story. It's been happening for well over a year now, maybe a year and a half at this point. Started at some point last season. The hair is extremely long, and he has some very curly, poofy hair. But I think West Ham could upset. I really, really think it. So when is this game? That's tomorrow. Is that the first game?
No, 12:15. So there's 3 games before it.
Okay, yeah. So it's the primetime game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it could happen just because of the momentum West Ham is playing with.
I mean,
there's a weird pressure to this game. It's stupid as it is.
That's the thing. It's like United's been, I'd say, just as reinvigorated as West Ham. But those guys certainly know about this.
It's a 5 game in a row thing. Screw the guy. Everyone's paying attention. When's the last time you won 5 in a row? It's been a long time.
Yeah, so there is pressure on I mean, both sides, but I don't know. This just feels like one of those weird bogey matches where, like, United should go in there and beat West Ham, but West Ham, now's your time to shine. If you get relegated, at least go out having won this game.
It would be awesome. And like United just beat Tottenham, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't like anything spectacular, so I would say I would say West Ham has so much more positive emotions behind their games, right? Because they're trying to get out of this relegation zone. There's so much more meaning behind these games. United is, they're playing for top 4. They're not playing for the title anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like top 4 for United, maybe not all the players, but it's like standard. Right? Yeah. It's standard. And West Ham just has to find a little bit of, I don't know, motivation and a way to kind of poke and prod United for them to fall off. Mm-hmm. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait to have it on. I'm so happy it's tomorrow. Weekday EPL. It makes the day go by better. It's a quick turnaround, these weekends to weekdays, but we're here for it.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, getting back to your actual question, like looking ahead at West Ham, their schedule, they have Bournemouth after that.
Winnable.
Go away to Liverpool.
I hope we beat them.
I would think Liverpool could get the win there. Go away to Fulham. It could go either way.
Yep.
And then what's after that? Oh, and then they host City after that. So like, it's not an easy run for them by any means, but you got to just pick up some points, right? Because your closest competition is Forest, and they have Wolves in the midweek, then Liverpool, Brighton, and City. So kind of similar schedules actually, but I think West Ham might be able to do it. There's a fire that hasn't been there in so long that seems like players want to play now.
Isn't that funny how that works? just one day they all decided we should probably start trying. Flip side, Leeds had a nice game. I think they're going to probably be okay in the end just because they're motivated too to not get relegated. I'm sorry, but Tottenham is just that. It's blaring. After the Palace win, you're like, okay, Palace can at least like put together a victory. We haven't seen a Tottenham victory, and gotta click on their team to go back that far. That's when you know it's bad.
It's been a while.
What do you know? Their last victory was Crystal Palace, December 28th.
We're all the way in February now, so.
And you got Newcastle next, who's looking better. They're scoring goals, right? You got Arsenal, and then Fulham, and then Palace again, and then Liverpool right after that.
Yeah, so
this could happen, Chad. You could win the title, and they could get relegated. That's crazy.
Their subreddit is like now fully aware of like they are kind of in this relegation
that they're shit.
Yeah. It's crazy because like we always keep having to say is that like in Champions League they're doing fine.
Yeah, it's
Premier League,
very strange.
They can't do anything, and I only watched the highlights of their game against United, and I think they looked fine up until the red card. But I'm sorry, you got to play a game down a guy, but you got to like lock in and defend for your life or something. Like
you need to be playing like West Ham.
Yeah,
like finding a way. Find a way.
You're not really in that area where you can afford to just let a game slip away because of a red card. Like that sucks, but you're literally 6 points off of the relegation zone right now. So yeah, it's bleak over there in the Spurs subreddit for sure.
I mean, how is Frank still there is kind of mind-boggling too. Nothing is changing. And again, if this is like, if they were sitting 10th, I'd be saying something different. Because I'd be like, long term, right? Long term.
Yeah.
But whatever is going on, it's not working.
Yeah.
It's not working. And Frank is not the fix at this point.
Yeah. I'm surprised they're sticking with him. For most of the season, we were saying you got to ride it out, and it requires more change than just a manager, but there is a point where you got to do something, and
you haven't won since December. Yeah, that's bad. That's so terrible. And this is going to be one of those teams that's probably cheering on relegation day that they're going to like make it out by 2 points. Remember when Forest went crazy and Everton went crazy?
Yeah.
Do you think on the final day of the season, if they put together a draw to get 17th, that they just get booed out of the stadium? Probably, right? Because that's crazy work to be where you were at. We'll call it 2-3 seasons ago, right? Maybe like pre-Ainge, like right in the midst of that, post Pochettino, Champions League final, Harry Kane, Son duo to this, it's a crazy drop off.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I mean, yeah, it's last day is Tottenham at home against Everton, so their home form already is not good. And Everton is not an easy team to beat.
They're not going to take it off on the last day. No way.
Yeah, absolutely not. Especially looking at where they're at right now. If the Everton's at 37 points, Europa League gets you.
They're almost there.
6 points, and I think sixth place gets the Conference League.
Seventh might at this point.
Isn't it seventh?
I think it's seventh. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I forget where Europe starts there, but I mean, you're up in eighth. You're a handful of points off of that, so they'll certainly be playing their hearts out the whole rest of the season, and you can bet, even if Europe is out of the question for Everton at that point, they're not a team to just lay down and let you have your way. They're out there fighting. They're out there causing hell and making you work for it. So yeah, I don't know. Tottenham,
Trouble. They're in trouble.
A lot of trouble, and hopefully they are actually like looking themselves in the mirror and recognizing that.
Having Solanke back right now is great.
Big. Yeah.
But you got to find ways to use him correctly. I mean, against City, you found a way in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Can you figure that out later? I mean, losing Romero is tragic. Their injury list is insane. I don't think anyone significant is coming back for them this month. No, if anything, it's going to be next month. Richarlison, I guess, and Porro would be the ones at the end of the month. But even then, like, you need everyone. You need your starting 11 here, and I think you're missing half.
Yeah, the injuries are hurting, but you've kind of had injuries all season, and you haven't been able to find a way to cope yet, and you're running out of time.
And I think the motivating factors for all these other teams right now is so much higher than yours, at least from what we see in terms of the way they play and how they're scoring. Smash that alarm button, because I think it's gonna we joked about it last year with United and Tottenham. This is so much worse.
Oh my gosh,
this is crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, time will tell. I think this week will be a big again, they play Newcastle, which I don't expect them to win this game, and I think you could see Leeds. They have Chelsea. They could maybe scrap a draw. I think Chelsea's on a hot streak too, so they might get it. Forest has the Wolves, so Forest should probably take that game. Again, West Ham playing United, and then Palace and Brighton are there. Palace plays Burnley. They're probably going to win that game. Tottenham might be sitting, again, a little bit lower at the end of this week.
Yikes. Yeah. I mean, sheesh. Yeah.
Sheesh is right.
You start to think about some of those wins in there, and you go from 15th and barely scraping by to, if not 17th alone, tied for it.
Goal differential might save them in the end. Like, that's where we're maybe they're not in the negatives, but boy is it close.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
at least we don't have to deal with that kind of stress,
Yeah, I'll take a loss to City instead of a relegation battle any day. I think we hit kind of the talking points we needed to hit here. I guess the last one is like Cole Palmer hat trick. Haven't seen that in a minute.
I was trying to think of, how they said like Penaldo or Pessi. Is he Palmonty? Penmol?
I think we think about it for the episode title. Yeah, that's a good one. We'll have to think of a play on word there.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's Chelsea should beat the Wolves. Lucky for them, Wolves helped them along the way.
Yep.
uh, but yeah, I think no real surprise there at the scoreline. I think Villa dropping some points to Bournemouth was a little bit of a surprise, but they seem to be cooling off, I guess. I mean, Brentford getting the win over Newcastle. It's in the table's not a surprise, but I think in what we think those teams should be, it's a surprise. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of it.
Well, game on, Chad. We go again tomorrow. Busy weekday, and then we're right back to it next week again. All right, I think this about wraps it up. Good chat, good talk. A little over the hour. I'll catch you back here. On the weekend.
Yep.
All right, with that, Hooligans Pitch. We're out. Peace.